Hey, welcome back to the series Fun Facts About Fasting, 30 days, 30 videos, and today we're on episode 5, talking about diabetes. Shall we get started? I think so too. Now you probably know about type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, but have you ever heard of type 1.5 diabetes, type 3 diabetes, late onset diabetes? Probably not, because actually in the past maybe a decade or at least the past 5 years, there's been growing interest or understanding of the different variations in diabetes. Now, for the purpose of this episode, I'm looking at fasting as I help. I'll be focusing on type 2 diabetes in general, but I just wanted to let you know that there are variations, which you see in the description box below, about actual new types of diabetes which have similar characteristics to one type, but also similar characteristics to another type. So it's 1.5 diabetes or type 1.5 diabetes has variations of both type 1 and type 2. So it's interesting to know, if you weren't aware, that there are now different variations of diabetes. But in any case, I want to talk about how does fasting help to potentially prevent a person from getting to a stage of unfortunately having some form of diabetes. But before I go any further, I just want to make a point that for those who may have diabetes, you may already know that fasting can be at a detriment to you. It may be more harmful for you because of the issues in actually controlling your blood sugar, because you might go too hypoglycemic, and even potentially after you've eaten you might get too hyperglycemic. So that's why for those who may have diabetes, speak to your doctors or your pharmacists to be aware of fasting can be a little bit tricky or be at a detriment to you. So a lot of this video is for those who may not have diabetes but may be on the road to, if they don't look at some sort of preventative approach. And I'm here today to talk about how fasting, in this Fun Facts About Fasting series, can actually help you do just that. So we know with type 2 diabetes that a lot of it is due to where insulin is being secreted at high levels for a long period of time, to the point where the beta cells which are inside your pancreas, which are responsible for producing insulin, get worn out. They get, like I said, I've been producing insulin for ages, I can't do it anymore. And they get worn out, they get what we call desensitized. And to the point where you can only produce certain very tiny amounts of insulin, but it's not enough to actually look after all the glucose that may be coming into the body. So that's kind of like a little bit of a behind the scenes as to how type 2 diabetes actually occurs. But I want to now help you understand, how does fasting help against this potentially, or prevent somebody getting to the point where they have this irreversible permanent damage to these insulin producing cells. So I want you to imagine your body as a cargo warehouse. So you've got food coming into your body and it has to be processed. You've got parcels coming into the warehouse and that has to be processed. So imagine a normal diet where you're going to be eating maybe 3-4 times a day. You've got a lot of food coming in, so the rest of your body, energy, resources, processes, has to be focused now on all the food coming in. Same as the cargo warehouse, all the protocols, all the workers, machines, equipments, conveyor belts, all has to be focused on all the new parcels coming in. And the reason why I'm mentioning this is because that attention is there for the new parcels or the new food coming in, there's less energy and time to focus on maintaining the warehouse or cleaning it up or make sure everything nice and organized. Same with your body. There's less time and energy and resources to look after the body itself, do some cleaning and repair, do some kind of detoxing as well. Fasting actually helps to do just that. Why? Nothing's coming in. No food is coming in for a certain period of time. So your body's like, hey guys, no food's coming in, so we've got time to, sort out all the other stuff. Same with the warehouse. If no new parcels are coming in, all of that equipment, resources, and time can now be spent on better organizing the warehouse, cleaning up the warehouse, making sure everything's all tip-top. So this is how fasting can help, because it can actually then reduce the amount of insulin being produced, because if there's no food coming in, no insulin is secreted. So then it's giving actual rest and protection to your pancreas in general. And believe it or not, if there's little damage that's occurring, your pancreas can actually start to repair itself because the damage is not too severe yet. And believe it or not, whilst this fasting stage is occurring, whilst insulin is being decreased, other hormones are actually being increased, which are favorable to you. So glucagon, as you can see here, is a hormone that gets slightly increased whilst you're fasting. And what actually happens is it helps to break down the glycogen, which is a stored version of glucose, which is near your liver, to be released as an energy source, and also to break down lipids and fats as lipolysis to actually then utilize that as a form of energy source. So then it's actually helping to clean and detox and utilize other resources you already have in your body whilst you're fasting. That's why you still have plenty of energy whilst you're fasting if done correctly. So believe it or not, to curb that chronic insulin spike, by not eating and changing the way you eat, you're providing a window of opportunity for your pancreas to have a rest essentially. So you can prevent that potential pre-diabetic phase and hopefully prevent the actual risk of that permanent switch to unfortunate type 2 diabetes. And just as a little bit of a reminder, any kind of research articles I've found as well, looking at how to look at fasting to curb diabetic risk, is also in the description box below if you are interested in having a look. But in any case, I shall leave you to the rest of your evening and I shall see you for episode 6, which is tomorrow. Take care.